Most people think turning your hobby into a business goes like this. Love doing something, sell it, profit. I've built profitable businesses more than once, but I've also wasted months burning cash and failing hard before I figured it out. If you're thinking about monetizing your passion, this video will save you from painful, expensive mistakes. I'm going to share with you the 4 hard truths I wish I'd learned sooner. Hard truth number 1, you aren't worth what you think. Let that sink in for a moment. When I was 15, I convinced my dad to co-sign a $2,000 loan so I could buy my first pro camera. I built a computer, launched a wedding video business, and immediately realized I hated filming weddings. But I stuck with it through high school. Why? Because I wanted to learn how to run a business. And all of a sudden, my focus wasn't on doing what I loved. It was on how to make more per wedding so I didn't have to do as many. My tolerance for being paid less than what I felt my time was worth became a reality. I didn't want to shoot weddings, and so the money had to be good enough for me to spend my time doing it. You need to charge what your product or service is worth, not what you think customers will pay for it. Looking back, this was a huge lesson to learn early on. It was a crash course in value pricing and selling from a mindset that what I was offering wasn't just my ability to do the thing, it was also my ability to communicate that value and create the demand. If you could do more for less or less for more, which would you choose? Hard truth number 2, you will fail. After weddings, I tried launching a commercial video business, and I learned that I loved the marketing aspect of commercial work. I got a few clients, but honestly, I didn't know how to sell to other businesses yet. And because of that, I couldn't pay the bills, and the business stayed a side hustle for me. Eventually, I threw in the towel of making it my full-time gig, and I joined a marketing agency and learned how to sell and create for bigger brands. It gave me that ability to learn on the job and build a foundation of experience to try again on my own. So here's the point. Whatever your passion is, maybe it's video or woodworking or graphic design, it doesn't mean the first way that you try to profit from it is going to be successful. And it most likely means the second path that you take will fail as well. But don't give up when you fail. Some call this moments of pivoting, but I like to talk about it in terms of paths from one point to another. Some are dead ends, some are winding and scenic, and some are straight and fast. And you often don't know which you're on until you're down the road a bit. But there are ways of cheating and shortcuts to be had. The main one is that you can follow the path of someone before you and steer clear of dead ends by learning from the failures you see or hear about. No matter what, though, you can always change paths. Don't get stuck thinking there's only one way to win. I went down 3 paths before I built a company that was successful. My first path with wedding videos I hated and realized it wasn't the right path for what I would love to do for years to come. My second path with commercials I loved, but I struggled to find traction due to the lack of experience I had in the space. It wasn't until I learned how to work in the B2B space by cutting my teeth in the agency world that I was able to successfully try a third path. And that path led me to build a company that was profitable from year 1, and I was able to sell it to a client for an exit to the next thing in my life. Hard truth number 3, there is no overnight success. Quick success is a lottery. Real success is built with consistency, and momentum builds when you show up consistently. Every failed business, every awkward client call, every no, every late night effort, it builds the foundation for what comes next, the paving stones for what you build your business on. But you don't have to learn each lesson the hard way. Learn from those ahead of you through books, videos like this. Mentors are huge, conversations with other business owners. When I finally built a production company I could sell, it didn't come out of nowhere. It was built on years of trial, error, and quiet growth that others didn't see. I worked multiple jobs. I waded through shitty bosses and great bosses. I produced work I hated and work I was proud of. But most importantly, I learned from it all, the good and the bad. So don't quit your job, not yet, because you don't know what you don't know. I made that mistake when I started down the second path of building a commercial company. I lasted 3 months before I had to find a job painting houses to pay the bills. So the third time, I built the company alongside my normal day job in the agency until I hit a tipping point. I didn't burn bridges and jump into the deep end expecting success right out of the gate. I developed systems, networked to create a pipeline, and I built up a client base to a tipping point. That tipping point was when the risk was minimal and the effort of holding up both the agency job and the side hustle wasn't sustainable. Overnight success takes years. Don't romanticize the risk. If you do, you're gambling with your future, and you'll end up painting houses like I did. Commit to the long game, and you'll start to see compounding returns on what you do consistently. All right, hard truth number 4. Your passion is not enough. Doing what you love is a small portion of building a business. If you're looking at your hobby and thinking, I could make money with this, you probably can, but the difference between a fun side hustle and a business you can grow is this: passion will burn out without a plan. If you don't want to learn how to project manage, how to invoice clients, how to file taxes or sell, or how to network, if you want to just do what you love doing, then find someone to work for and have a fulfilling life as a creative contributor. There is nothing wrong with this choice. This is covered in one of the books that greatly impacted my business called The E-Myth, and I cover it in the 4 books that changed my business. I'll link to it for you up here. Here's a good exercise if you're unsure if you want to work on a business or in a business. When you think about your week, what you'd love to do day in and day out, is it singular or is it multifaceted? Do you get joy out of different tasks and not having the same schedule every day? Or does that give you heartburn just thinking about not knowing what the day or week will hold? If you've made it this far in the video, I'm going to assume you're in the bucket of loving that multifaceted life. That getting to do your passion or hobby is only a part of why you want to build a business around it. You desire to build something of your own. Your career is dependent on your ability to learn, to grow, and your willingness to view failure not as a lodestone, but as a stepping stone. If this is you, welcome to the pack. You are unique in that you can do the thing. Now you have to build and run the business machine around that thing. So which of these 4 hard truths was hardest for you to hear? Drop it in the comments and I'll make sure to reply. And make sure to hit subscribe to the channel if you're on the same journey. I'll continue to release more lessons from my own career to help you build something that you're proud of.